And we're back with DanPlays Christmas Special Part 2, I guess, or Part 2, if you prefer. Uh, so yeah, I was trying to think of another Christmas game I could do after Home Alone. Home Alone 2 is, I guess, the logical choice, but I didn't want to do that. A, because it's too obvious, and B, because Home Alone 2 was a terrible game. It's actually worse than Home Alone 1, by a pretty good margin, I think. It does have an NES rendition of Tim Curry as the concierge, but, I don't know. It's just not worth it. So I picked this one, Disney Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, not because it's a Christmas game per se, it's obviously not, but it's a game I got for Christmas, so, you know, that kind of works, right? So yeah, I remember getting this. I don't remember what year. This doesn't even have a year of release on the title screen, does it? Huh. Probably 90, 91. I don't remember what year exactly this... Let me look it up, actually. You know, might be pertinent information. And... Anyway, I got this game for Christmas one year. My mom had bought it kind of sight unseen, and I don't even really remember I don't really remember even knowing about this game before that, so it came out in 90. So it was probably that year that I got it. I mean, maybe the next year. I don't know, but... I mean, the next year, I still had NES. I didn't have Super Nintendo yet, till I think 90... Probably 92, maybe even 90... Maybe 93, I got Super NES, actually. But yeah, anyway... I didn't really know anything about this game. I don't remember even seeing previews of it. And I had a subscription to Disney Adventures magazine at one point, so I remember seeing, like, Little Nemo the Dream Master previewed in that, and I don't remember ever seeing this previewed in it, surprisingly. Yeah, my mom had bought it kind of sight unseen, just because, you know, it looked interesting, and, you know, it was Disney, theme park. We never actually got to go to Disney theme parks until much later, incidentally. We had, and it's still there. I'd like to go there again, actually, because I do like amusement parks, and I haven't been to one in years. But we had The Great Escape, which is now Six Flags Park. It's still The Great Escape. It's Six Flags Great Escape up in Lake George. We went to that, maybe not every year, but a lot of years as a kid with my family, and then there were a couple of school trips to it, like the end of the year school trip went to The Great Escape too. But yeah, I never actually got to go to Disney World or Land. I've never been to Land or any of the others, but we did go to Disney World when I was in high school, junior year. It was in the year 2000. In the year 2000. But yeah, it was the Y2K celebration. I still have a pin for it, actually. I stuck it to my bulletin board in my home office here. So it's actually one room over from this. But yeah, I was not quite an adult, obviously, but I was much older when I finally went to the actual Disney theme park. So I guess the NES version was the next best thing? I don't know. And yeah, this is by Capcom, just like the other Disney games. I guess all of the Disney games on the NES were Capcom releases. The asterisk is the first one, Mickey Mousecapade, which was actually a Hudson Soft developed game. But it was released in the US, at least, by Capcom. And then the other Disney games, I think all the others they did in-house. And of course there were some great classic ones. DuckTales, notably. There was Darkwing Duck, which was kind of the unofficial 7th Mega Man game on the NES. Same company, same game engine as, I think, Mega Man 5. Just with different branding. It was a Mega Man game with a Darkwing Duck coat of paint. What else? There was the Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers game. That was a great game, too. Great two-player game. Very fun two-player. So yeah, there were some great classic ones. Little Mermaid was pretty good, I remember. Tailspin was kind of disappointing, and that was especially disappointing because I loved Tailspin as a kid. I was all about that show. Very strange concept, you know. Let's take all the animals from the Jungle Book, put them in the 1930s, and give them all airplanes. Like, what was the thought process on that? Anyway, Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, it didn't seem to get a lot of press compared to the other Disney games, I guess because it wasn't specific to a character or show or anything, it was just kind of specific to the theme park, although Mickey and Goofy and Donald do appear in it. Yeah, it's not a bad game. It's kind of like a mini-game collection kind of thing. There's a couple of side-scroller levels, there's a driving level. There's like a Space Mountain is kind of like a button press puzzle kind of thing. Almost like a Dragon's Lair kind of control scheme, in a way. Like push the right button at the right time. Even a forerunner to rhythm games, in a way, I guess. But I think Dragon's Lair is the best comparison. And there's like a trivia game in here, too. We'll see it all, obviously. Well, hopefully we'll see it all. Fairly challenging, too, especially the side-scroller levels, as I recall. I haven't played this in a long time. I do remember finally beating it as a kid, and it was, you know, a decent accomplishment to finally complete it. Anyway. Actually, let's put in the name I would have used at the time. I still went by Danny when I first got this in 1990, so for tradition's sake. So the whole thing is, Goofy lost 6 keys to open the gate. So they can start the parade, they have to find the 6 keys, which are spread to 5 different attractions, and then, like, some kid ran off with the last one, and you get that through the trivia challenge. Well, they're somewhere in the Magic Kingdom. Oh, yep. I like, all of this dialogue for Donald as if any of this would be intelligible if he was actually speaking, you know, if there was actual speech audio. Alright, so you don't actually get to play as any of the Disney characters. You get to play as this generic kid in a cowboy hat. What they should have done, they should have made it, you know, as a nod to, you know, the parents that would have been primarily buying this game for their kids. They should have had him in, like, a Davy Jones, like a coonskin cap. Because I guess he's supposed to just be the average kid Disney watcher, I don't know. So this is the trivia guy. He looks like a Dragon Warrior NPC, but... And the questions are randomized, and there's some pretty good ones, like some pretty tough ones. This one's not a tough one, obviously. It's Geppetto. I don't know, do we want to just go through the whole trivia thing first, or... Let's do, well, let's go down to Space Mountain. We'll do that as our first event, and the next trivia question's down there anyway. The park is very small, and again, it's kind of laid out, and even the characters on this screen kind of look like Dragon Warrior characters. And this is kind of disappointing. This is supposed to be Main Street, I guess. And there's, like, the first aid office, there's, like, the bookstore, just indicated by icons, but you can't do anything with those. They're just decoration. There's a candy cane there for some reason. And there's, like, one random spaceship ride out here in front of Space Mountain. This also has a You Compete Video Games episode, incidentally. I'm trying to remember what castle it is. The castle in the middle, it's actually not Cinderella's castle from Disney World, which I think is what's on the box, if I remember right. Yeah, I think it looks more like the castle from Disneyland. So it's kind of a mishmash. Maybe it's the castle from Itchy and Scratchy Land, who knows? Oh, God, I haven't seen Mary Poppins since I was a kid. I don't know, I'm just guessing on this one. I'm not the Danny you've been hearing about. There isn't really a penalty for blowing the questions, though. You can just get another one. Disney largest Magic Kingdom, I think. I don't know if it's still the case, but I remember the right answer being Tokyo Disney. Is there still a Tokyo Disney? I'm guessing, but I don't know for sure. I'm guessing there is. I think Euro Disney still exists too, right? And, like, I know that was kind of a failure at first, but I think it still exists in some form. Anyway, let's do Space Mountain while we're here. See, again, this is like just kind of a button timing thing. So the directions and buttons you have to push are down at the bottom. And obviously it gets faster and faster as you go. When the asteroids show up, it's A. When another spaceship shows up, it's B to attack that. And you can actually fail 3 commands before getting booted. The kind of beginner's trap is that you kind of want to, like, be freely steering this, but really the only thing you should be looking at is the display down at the bottom of the screen that show you the button presses. The cockpit view reminds me a little bit of the cockpit view that shows up on certain screens in Space Shuttle Project on NES, which is that's a good game. I actually like that one fair bit. And I actually finally beat it for the first time maybe 2 years ago. I'd never beaten that one until relatively recently. Very tough game in some of the later levels, Space Shuttle Project, but that one will be a good episode. Now that I think about it, I'll have to do Space Shuttle Project sometime. It's getting fast now. You get a slight breather. Oop, I missed that one. You do get a slight breather after when the ladder at the top changes when you get to the next sector. So I have 2 more hits that I can take before getting kicked out. I think we're probably good. Even when I'm talking. Ah, pushed up instead of B. Oh, there we go. I was thinking it was G, even though we said it at the beginning. See? Alright, so we got one of the keys already. And yeah, there it shows it. So, again, while we're here, let's do Autopia. This is like an overhead racing game. Forgot the controls already. So I think it's up changes gears after you're accelerating. This is actually closest to Bump and Jump, which is a game I always liked too. I've never been good at it, but I always liked Bump and Jump anyway, even though I'm terrible at it. You can't jump at will, you can only jump on the ramps, but it's kind of the same concept overall. Try to bump the other cars out of the way, jump on the one you can. Ah. There is a timer on this. It's not displayed on screen, but there is a timer. That might be the trickiest part of the entire thing, that bridge that starts from the far side. Yeah, see, that's the timer, the time limit coming up, but I think we're good. Yeah, we got it. You can collect stars by way of Autopia, and you can replay these even after you get the key. The stars you can use to buy power-ups. I'm gonna go ahead and get a couple of, well, a 1-up. Just since I have enough stars for it. So we're a third of the way there. There's the next trivia kid. Oh, Mickey will be angry? What's Mickey gonna do? Just throw you into the boiler of the Steamboat Willie steamboat, like Itchy did in Steamboat Itchy, right? Alright, so what are we doing? The bulldog who is always chasing Pluto is... Spike? No, not Spike. The one downside to this, they don't tell you what the right answer is. Which of these non-Disney characters is not in the film Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which of course was a joint production between Warner Brothers and Disney. And there was like a very specific contract for especially Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse that they had to be, they had to have like the exact same amount of screen time, so that's why like the scene where they show up, where Bob Hoskins is falling down the building and he has Mickey and Bugs on either side of him, and the camera's like keeps cutting back and forth between the two of them, and that's I think to make sure that they're on screen the exact same amount of time. So anyway, who's not in it? Daffy Duck's definitely in Roger Rabbit. And I think Popeye is, too. So I think there were a couple of United Artists characters in it that show up. And I think Popeye is there, like, in, like, the background of one scene, and he doesn't have a major part. So I'm guessing, by default, it's Yosemite Sam. It's not. It must have been Popeye, then. I thought Popeye was in it, though. I don't know. I'll have to watch that again. It's a great movie, so... certainly no burden to watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah, it has to be... Popeye, if it's not Yosemite Sam out of that list, because Daffy Duck is in it. He has the piano duel with Donald. Oh. That was kind of a guess, but... Thunder Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain is... I think that's actually the... I don't know if it's the hardest per se, but it's the most annoying of the levels in this, because it has a very notable aspect of randomness to it. Donald Duck's middle name is Fauntleroy. That one I actually did know. Let's just get the key from the trivia. And then I'm thinking we'll do Thunder Mountain and then 2 side-scrolling levels. That dog's around here, he's right next to you. And he looks like Pluto. Cinderella's last name. Marlboro? Guess not, like the cigarettes, or the tentacle monsters in Final Fantasy. This is gonna be Chip and Dale. Before they became Rescue Rangers. Let's just do Thunder Mountain while we're next to it. So, the 4th station, I think that's good because that's one of the easier stations to land at. Oh, how do you slow down? Okay, B is your brakes, that makes sense. Yeah, once again, you can take 3 hits. And you want to slow down when you're coming up on those gates, because if you're going at full speed, you'll hit the gate before it opens. Same with these boulders. If you don't slow down for a second, you'll hit it. I've already taken 1 hit. And there we go. Yeah, it randomizes when each time you play it which station you're going to, and you want to get 1 or 4 because they're on either side, and they're the easiest to get to just by holding right at every intersection or left if you're going to station 1. If you get one of the stations in the middle, that's when Thunder Mountain really gets hard. Which little pig made the... Oh my god. I don't even remember that part of the story. I mean, that was probably not even in the original story, right? That was probably unique to the Disney version. The House of Pricks sounds practical, though. Must be Little King. He's gonna make us do 2 questions again, too, isn't he? First Academy Award-winning cartoon. Steambort, Willie? Steambort? Sorry, my son is also named Bort. Could that be where that came from? I doubt it, but it's still quite a coincidence, because that was the Itchy and Scratchy Land episode of The Simpsons that the whole Bort thing came from. Anyway, I'm gonna say 3 Little Pigs. I guess not. It probably... Was it Steamboat Willie? Did that win an Oscar? I mean, even if Steamboat Willie did, Steambort Willie didn't. Davy Crockett was born in Tennessee, probably. I'm doing bad on some of these trivia questions. What? This is getting embarrassing. Oh, that's an easy one. I guess he finally felt sorry enough for me, so he threw a softball. Where does Dumbo take place? I haven't seen Dumbo since I was a kid either. I'm gonna pick... Would it be Texas? Because, I mean, Florida and California are where the 2 Disney parks are. So either of those seem too obvious. Oh. Oh, wow. Alright, so I think we have 4 keys. We just have the 2 side-scroller levels. So it's Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion. When I went to Disney World in 2000, I didn't actually get to go in the Haunted Mansion. I've never been in the Haunted Mansion because it was closed for, I don't know, probably renovations. I did get to do, what was it? The Alien Extraterrestrial Encounter. The, like, animatronic show. That was awesome, by the way. It's not there anymore. They changed it into, like, a Lilo and Stitch event. They kind of, you know, sanitized it a little bit. But, yeah, the Alien Extra... I think it was Extraterrestrial. Where it's like you're put in, like, the theater is set up like a spaceship, and, like, there's an alien that they teleport into it, but it's not the friendly alien, it's, like, the bad alien that comes through, and then it escapes from the pod, and it had all these special effects where, like, it's breathing on your neck. They had, like, a little blower in the back of the seat, so you can feel it breathing on your neck, and when it's flying around. That was an awesome thing. I wish that was still there, just so I could go on it again. And I've heard one of the reasons they might have gotten rid of it is just that the introductory video had Jeffrey Jones in it, and of course, we found out later what he did in real life. But they could have refilmed that, come on. But yeah, they did rebrand it, I think, for a while as a Lilo and Stitch thing. It was, you know, I'm sure much more benign. Because it was pretty scary, it was pretty intense, and I could see, you know, probably some parents complaining and stuff like that. You know, it's too intense for a Disney park, but yeah, that was great. But yeah, I didn't get to go in the Haunted Mansion anyway, back to my original point. But I did go on Pirates of the Caribbean, and we went, like, during my school spring break, which was not a busy time at Disney World, so there was, like, no line. Like, very rarely did we stand in any lines for any rides or anything. And I remember, like, Pirates of the Caribbean, I just went on by myself. But, like, I got on it, there was nobody in line. Yeah, I had, like, the whole boat to myself, and I went through it, and this was before any of the movies came out or anything, of course, so it was still, like, they hadn't put in, like, the Johnny Depp animatronic or anything that they have now. I assume they still have that anyway. But yeah, it was still, like, fairly close to the original version. I know there have been some revisions made over the years already by then, but, yeah, it was fairly close to the original Pirates of the Caribbean. So yeah, I remember just going through it, and then when I came back, when my boat got back to the launch, a couple of times, the pirate attendant was like, you know, there'd be nobody in line. Do you want to go again, matey? And I was just like, hi! So you let me just stay on it and go through again. And yeah, I think I went through it like 2 or 3, at least 2 or 3 times in a row. It might have been like 3 or 4. Yeah, that was cool. That was just one day. I did go on it at least once, like the second or third day, too. So anyway, let's do the Pirates one. I think the Pirates one is a little easier than the Haunted Mansion, so we'll save the Haunted Mansion for the end. Let's get a couple more one-ups, too, just since we have the stars. So with the Pirates of the Caribbean level, you have to find 6 villagers. And this is pretty true to the ride, too. Certainly the original version of the ride. So this is a really well-done level. Like, if this was the entire game, like, if there were more levels to this, this would be a good game on its own. And the Haunted Mansion, the attraction in this game, I think the same. Like, if that was expanded to be an entire game unto itself, that still would have been good, too. And, you know, on this, it's not, like, as good as Mega Man's controls, I would say, but there's still solid controls on this. Like, it feels... Playing this feels good. You can actually push the barrel. In the Haunted Mansion, you'd actually get... There's one of the villagers we have to save. In the Haunted Mansion, you actually get a weapon, you get a candle you can throw, which you do eventually get in... took a hit. You do eventually get that in the Pirates level, too. I don't think there was a villager up here. Yeah. But, so we got one. This is very, like, Shadow Man, Mega Man 3 Shadow Man's level. That kind of end part where there's enemies or objects falling. This is like right out of Super Mario Brothers. Potobu's here. One thing I remember noticing as a kid, if you go to the menu and then come back, there's like a split second where the color of the fire is in, like, where it says Mercado there on the market. You can see the color shift. Anyway. That always feels like a jump that you're not going to be able to make, but you can. And this is where I might want to buy... Do I have enough for a life up and a freeze? I do. And it froze the... Nah, just take the loss. Take the L. Try it again. We got a few extra lives anyway. Yeah, I should have bought the freeze before the skeleton was throwing those. I guess they were coins, the projectiles he was throwing. Ah. Cornered myself on the ladder there. But yeah, overall, this feels like a pretty damn solid side-scroller level. I mean, it's Capcom. They knew what they were doing with this kind of thing, certainly by this point. By 1990. Yeah, whether I know what I'm doing or not, I don't know. So I took another hit there. Alright, so there's a villager here. There is actually a timer on this, too. Just crash out. Yeah, 6 villagers. But yeah, these are not easy levels. It feels fair. Like, it's, you know, good controls. I think the challenge is fair on these, but they're not easy. And the rest of the game is pretty easy, so it's kind of deceptive in a way when you get to these side-scroller levels. But they're as tough as they are. Grab that star. We don't want to run out of time, because there is a timer on this, but... That was an arrow miss. I should have gotten that star. Oh well. Oh! That's a tough jump right there. It's like just barely wide enough. Like, you have to be pixel perfect on that one. if I lose another life on this, it might actually be worth playing Autopia again, because you can collect stars pretty easily in Autopia. And then come back to this. Get away. Oh. That's what I was trying to avoid. Oh, jeez. Alright, do I have enough? I have to buy each point of your life bar separately. Okay, no cannonballs there. That's weird. That must have been a glitch there from going to the menu. It must have, like, caused the cannonballs not to spawn. I don't think I've ever seen that, where they didn't come down. Missed that star again. This is where I'd like to buy a freeze. Like, I could freeze it right here, and then that scorpion will be frozen, and the skeleton would be as well. Because this is hard to... Yeah. Alright, let's do Autopia again before we come back to that. Before we're back down to our starting lives, so... You don't get another key for doing this again. Unfortunately, because that would make it easier. Just skip the side-scrolling levels. I mean, I don't really want to do that, because the side-scrolling levels are good. They are fun. They are tough. They're deceptively tough. Yeah. I should have slowed down on that jump so I could get the rest of those stars. And there's 3 there. This is a fun little section. You know, timing where you land and stuff. And your car actually has 3 gears. You push up and down to shift between them. That slows you down, which again you want to do up here. And that bridge is kind of the tricky part of this event. There we go. Oh, 1 star off from another one up. Should I do Autopia again, or... Let's do it one more time, and we should be able to get probably 2 lives after doing this a 3rd time here. I didn't mean to jump there so I could get those stars. Kinda do want to play Bump and Jump again now. Again, I've never been any good at Bump and Jump, but I always enjoy playing it. So I actually do put that one on, you know, every once in a while. Get a hankering for some Bump and Jump. Actually, one I've considered for an episode, too, for this show, is the Famicom game, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Gekitotsu Yanku Battle. It's like, it's a Japanese-only release, so it doesn't have an official translation. But I think it translates roughly to something like 4-wheel drive battle clash. It's like an early car combat game. It's an overhead view kind of deal. But there's no race aspect at all. You're just trying to destroy all the other cars on the screen. It's really fun. It was an IRAM game. Yeah, and I don't know why that didn't come out in the US, because it's even though it's a Japanese-only release, it's already 100% in English except the title. So they easily could have just, you know, changed the title and put that out in the US. And it's a very fun game. It probably would have done decently well. But yeah, I've considered that for an episode. I have the cartridge over there. I can play it with an adapter. Alright, so let's try Pirates again. These lights, by the way, are kind of digging into my neck. This wasn't the best idea. for a long-term thing. Alright, so when we get down to that lower level, I'm gonna try freezing it before the skeleton is on screen. We have enough stars right now to freeze. We'll get a few more on the way there. So yeah, I'm gonna try to freeze that skeleton before he even is on screen, so we can stop him from throwing those coins, because there's not really a good way past those. So there's Villager 1. And there's the cannonballs again. Actually, I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and check the footage. Did the stars even spawn here when that last time when the cannonballs didn't show up? Some of these jumps are very tight. There's not much wiggle room there. I forgot that star again. Alright, so right here, by the freeze. And then we should be able to get past the skeleton here. Oh no. The freeze just didn't last quite long enough. Ugh. Alright, we got it. Oh, jeez. This is a tough level. I haven't done it in a while, so I'm certainly not in practice. Oh, now I'm out of stars again. Great. Yep, completely out. Get this one. Ah, the hell? Just buy it. No, I don't have enough for a freeze now, but... Oh, that was stupid. Forgot there was a third one. Down to one hit. Well, I don't have high hopes for this attempt. So if I stand right there, and then go up as the... that guy has to stop and look around, and that's... like you think you can jump over him, but... I actually think the Haunted Mansion level might be easier from what I remember. Could be wrong on that, but... because you do have a weapon in that one, at least. You don't have a weapon till, like, the end of this level. Oh, shit. Sorry. Ah. Oh, that was too close. Alright, there we go. We were doing so good until we started this this level. really want to do Autopia again to get stars, but might have to, I don't know. So 2 there, 1 here, and then 3 on the last one. There we go. Skip that star. So we actually do have enough for the freeze now, but I don't know, let's see if we can do without it. Let's just give ourselves some insurance. And of course the freeze doesn't carry over to the next screen. Oh, I thought he was going to turn around. Oi. So these guys just walk forward, or occasionally throw something if they're carrying one of those balls, but the bald guys have to stop and look around, and that really is throwing me off for some reason. I know I missed 1 star over to the left there. See if we can get to that 3rd area with the bald guys. With an intact life bar, at least. Alright, so we have 9 stars. We can do a freeze if we want to. There, just to make sure. And they don't turn around at all. He's gonna be right there. Oh. Oh, damn it. I don't know if you can... That's embarrassing. I've done this game on 1 continue. I know that that's not a big deal. There's no score system or anything on this one, but yeah, I always like to get through on 1 continue anyway, just as a point of pride. As many games I have done it with at least once. This is one of them. Obviously not this time. Oh, want to go down there. Barrel guy. for a star. Oh well. Don't have enough for a freeze. That's no bueno. Ah. Damn it. I can at least do that. See, there's a villager down below. Oh, Jesus. Oh, damn it! Trying to get to that ladder. I think the weapon might actually be down that second ladder there. If I remember right. Oh. Oh, come on. Wasn't even close to that. Ah. There we go. There we go. Alright, we're moving on. We're moving on. Yeah, you can't like despawn that guy either. Oh. I think I'm gonna game over again here. Oh. The hitbox on those guys is just slightly taller than it should be. I'm not even gonna go for those stars. Oh, and of course there's a guy right there. There's the candle. Okay, so now we actually have a weapon. Alright, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas. Just refill the full on our life bar. Okay, was that all the villagers? I guess we'll find out. Ah. Finally. Alright, well, that was more troublesome than I thought it was going to be. Alright. We should probably do Autopia at least once to get at least one extra life here before the Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion, I think, is actually easier, as I recall, than Pirates, but still. Just get as many stars as we can here. Come on. There we go. You know, I really thought about it, but the sound when you jump in this, I think is the same sound as the disappearing blocks in Mega Man, isn't it? I mean, it makes sense. It's a Capcom game, so I'm sure there's other... Oh, what the hell happened there? Oh, come on! Oh, that is so embarrassing. Oh, alright, let's just go straight to Haunted Mansion. Hey, Tabby. You can come up. I'm hopefully almost done here for tonight, but you can come up. Don't scratch on the rug. Very, very cool level. This is like, you know, clearly some Ghosts and Goblins, another Capcom game. Clearly some Ghosts and Goblins influence. Especially this area. This is very reminiscent of the first stage of Ghosts and Goblins. Now, unlike Pirates, where you don't have the candle to start with, but you eventually find it, but once you have it, it's unlimited. In this level, you actually have a finite number of candles that you can hold. This is a cool part here, too, where you can see your reflection in the mirror. And then the third mirror, it's the Spectre. His reflection that shows up. Cool little touch. Yeah, man, that Pirates level was deceptively tough. Very tight time limit, too. We didn't run into issues with that, but it can be an issue. Here, some of the enemies take more hits than you'd think, like these hands take 3 hits. You can jump down in this level, though, and I don't think you could do that in the Pirates level for some reason. Hi, Tab. The guy looking in the, like, jack-o'-lantern with crazy hair looking in the window, that's cool, too. Even if this wasn't one of the bigger Disney games Capcom did, they clearly still put a lot of thought and effort into it. You know, just, like, little touches like that, like the reflection thing. Maybe someday I'll actually get to go in the Haunted Mansion. I haven't been back to Disney since 2000 either, but yeah, maybe someday. One of my favorite rides... Because I can't do coasters. I just have never been able to do roller coasters. The Great Escape in Lake George has... I think it's regarded as one of the best wooden... Or, I don't know, I don't think it is wooden, but one of the best... Maybe it is wooden. One of the best coasters, anyway. The Comet is, I guess, very well regarded in coaster circles, but I've never been able to do it. But I did, like, what was it? The... not Cannonball Run. Something Cannonball, anyway. Maybe it was just the Cannonball. But anyway, it's like the one where it whips you... and I'm talking, of course. But it, like, whips you around fast and kind of an angle, and then it stops, and then it whips you around backwards the same way. And the version of it at the... Cannonball Express, that's what it is. Cannonball Express. The version of that at the Great Escape at least has, like, this, like... I'm sure they don't pay any licensing fees for it or anything, but it has like this rock soundtrack that's just blasting the whole time you're on it, and it's like whipping you around, and I like that one. Alright, so I should stop talking when we get to the harder parts of this level. At least we have a good amount of stars. I could even, just do it. Buy an extra life. Do over for that last one. So most of the hands you can avoid, but you can't really avoid that one. So you do need like 6 candles to take those 2 out at least. If you get all the pickups, the limited number of candles in this level isn't really an issue, but it can be tricky. And there's a hard part, we were kind of on it, the hard part with the flying chair. Because it's, if you fall off the chair, it's an instant death. Hit there. This is also the only level that has an actual boss fight, incidentally. At the end, you have to fight the flying specter. What are you doing under there? Come back, chair. Ah, barely. Almost ate it on that one. Alright, so gotta concentrate here. A lot of the power-ups in this flying section you kind of want to just ignore. Because you have to jump to reach them, and if you jump, you're in danger of falling off your chair. This kind of reminds me of the house level in Little Nemo, incidentally. Huh. It didn't look like there was enough room to get across there. How? What? I don't know if I've ever had that happen before. If you touch the Spectre at the beginning, you automatically get booted. Anyway, yeah, that looked like there wasn't enough room to make that jump. Doing good until that. What are you doing? I don't know. It's getting kind of late to be getting crazy. Yeah. Don't chew on my lights. You know what happened to the cat in Christmas Vacation? They're actually starting to get itchy. Incidentally, I might have to take these off anyway. Oh. Oh, good. What? This is... What the hell happened here? That didn't go well, huh? Alright, there we go. Alright, flying section. Oh, Tabby, don't chew on the lights. Oh, you can. There is enough room there, it just doesn't look like there is. Okay. Alright, so I think this is the boss fight right here. Yeah. Alright, where is he? I don't remember how many hits he takes. It's actually a fair number. He doesn't really have a pattern. Where is he? Like, this is actually harder than, like, the final Dr. Wily form in Mega Man 2. Just as a Capcom comparison. There we go. Got him. Okay, so that's all the keys. So now we just have to go over to the castle. Yeah, we have 6. Alright, so there it is. Here's our ending. Boy, those side-scrolling levels. I remember them being tricky, but they're actually even harder than I remembered from whenever I last played this. I have beaten this in 1 continue, I obviously didn't this time. I think I used 2 continues. Which doesn't matter, you know, it's one of those things. Nobody cares but you, but all the same, it's a point of pride. I wanted to beat it on one go. Oh, you found all the keys, that's great! Oh gee, thanks. I can't even do Donald. Hey, come up here. And there it is. For some reason, I'm wearing a red shirt now, instead of the yellow shirt I wore in the entire rest of the game. Hey, come up here. Alright. So here's Tabby. You probably heard her little meeping off screen, but here she is. Alright, so this is the end of part 2 of the holiday special for DanPlays. Hope you enjoyed. Enjoyed some of my pain in Home Alone and in those last couple levels of this game. And depending on when you're watching it, I'm sure, you know, my tens of viewers are, you know, either while some of you might be watching this before the holiday, some might be after it, maybe some of them are interested in following a different holiday altogether. But whatever the case, hope you're having a good season. You know, whatever you're celebrating, enjoy it. It's one of my favorite times of year, just, you know, for the overall spirit. Apparently I have mail. You know, I always love this time of year. Hope you do too, or at least you're having, you know, having the best of it. So, thanks for watching. This might be the last DanPlays for 2024 too, so if that's the case, I'll see you again next year. And I do plan to have at least, you know, 1 or 2 videos of other kinds before the end of the year, but it might not be a DanPlays before 2025, so don't chew on the lights. So yeah, if that's the case, have a good new year, and I will see you in the future. So hit like and subscribe, ring the bell, whatever, and we'll see you again. Have a good night. Say goodbye to the people, Tabby. Again, tens of people are going to be seeing you on this. Alright, have a good night.